My play of the day, though, I'm going to give to Barnaby Joyce, and I'll explain why, because there's some backstory here. There's a lot of cabinet, well, not a lot, there's some cabinet tension going on at the moment over, and we've talked about this in recent weeks, how much power Scott Morrison should have, whether his portfolio should be expanded to include various things from chunks of defence to things from ASIO, like the things from Attorney Generals like ASIO and the AFP. The kibosh was put on that in a big way by Julie Bishop, the Foreign Minister. Now the suggestion that he might take quarantine and biosecurity from Agriculture Minister Barnaby Joyce. Barnaby Joyce doesn't want to give up any of that. The Fin Review had this story today and some quotes from Scott Morrison, which did indicate his desire to expand his portfolio to include quarantine. So Labor asked Barnaby Joyce about this today. Should quarantine and biosecurity be shifted out of his portfolio into Scott Morrison's? And the way he answered it, very diplomatic, very delicate, but I thought he made his point quite well.
Can the Minister explain why it's so important that biosecurity remains part of his portfolio responsibilities within the Department of Agriculture?
That we have to work as seamlessly as we possibly can between agencies, and I can tell you right now we're already doing that. Myself and Minister Dutton on health, in our actions to make sure that we keep Ebola out of this nation, is working seamlessly as we speak. And I'd like to commend the Minister for Health for the great work that he does in keeping this nation free of the diseases such as Ebola. And I know that the work that Minister Morrison does, has been incredibly effective in ridding our nation of the scourge of people just making their own way into this nation, and all the ones who drowned on the water by reason of the lack of attention to this portfolio by those opposite. But I know that our nation will have, as one of the premier issues, one of the premier items of our agricultural soft commodities, strong biosecurity.